Bells of Steel provided their Cerakote utility barbell to 2-Rep Cave to evaluate. Benjamin wanted this bar for his gym where he's had some Rogue bars for a while. So Benjamin is doing this review, and here he is.
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Benjamin at his garage in Texas. On this video, we'll be taking a look at the Bells of Steel Cerakote utility barbell. Now this is a company that was recently turned on to. They've been on the scene now for a little while, having been founded back in 2010. And they were an early adopter, and they continue to cater to the growing alternative fitness scene. So if you're into kettlebell training, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, strongman, general sports performance, CrossFit, or just being the local exercise maniac in your neighborhood who's always shaming others with your shirtless swole on at the community pool, well, Bells of Steel is for you. Now I've had their Cerakote utility barbell now for a little over 2 weeks, really enjoying it so far. And I want to talk to you about that barbell and as well compare it to a couple of the others that I have.
The barbell arrived in excellent condition. The internal packaging was carefully constructed, especially around the sleeves to protect them. The tube it shipped in is incredibly stiff and resistant to warping. I can tell this tube got beat up. You can see a little bit of a flat top there, but it held up really well. It's very stiff. Coming out of the tube here, initial impressions were great. There's no rust to be found anywhere. It has a nice little light coat of oil right where you'd expect there to be. The sleeves rotate as advertised in the specs. The Cerakote, you can see, is a really nice sharp color. Has a great classic sound when it's dropped.
The utility bar is a journalist bar, so it's going to satisfy most needs for most people. And if you're like me and you don't adhere to a particular strength sport or program, and you really just want an excellent everyday barbell that can do it all, then this is the category of barbell you're looking for. Now, at 28.5 millimeters in diameter, it's just a tad thicker than an Olympic lifting bar, and it's just a little bit thinner than a powerlifting bar. So it is a duty-ready bar. It comes with brass bushings, and that results in a smooth, but not over rotation. And the knurl is medium light.
So I have here the Rogue 2.0 barbell as well as the Cerakote Rogue Bella barbell. Both of these bars represent your everyday go-to bar as well, so it makes for a nice comparison. I've had the Rogue 2.0 since 2016, so coming up on 6 years now with that barbell. Unlike the Cerakote Bells of Steel, this one comes with a black zinc finish on the shaft and a bright zinc finish on the sleeves. I know it doesn't look very black, and that's because there's a ton of chalk on there. But you can see the amount of wear that is on that black zinc. So, I beat up bars. I do a lot of CrossFit-based workouts. They get dropped a lot. It gets to be 100 degrees out here in the Texas heat. I get sweat and chalk all over them. Honestly, I've got small kids, a demanding job, and, my free time is limited, so I don't spend it cleaning the barbells. So this thing is lucky if I even hit it with a half sweaty cloth before I go back in after a workout. And without that Cerakote, you can see it really shows. There's quite a bit of wear on here. And with the Cerakote on the Bella barbell, my wife has had this for about 4 or 5 years now. She uses it as much as I do. Doesn't really clean it either. And it's held up really well. So you can see very clearly the benefit of having that Cerakote on here. So let's talk about the knurl a bit. That's a really important feature when you are looking at a barbell. On this utility bar, it's a bit more forgiving than with the Rogue 2.0, which I sometimes find to be a bit too aggressive for high volume work. And, I think it's fair to say that you'll get a solid grip on the utility bar, but it's not going to chew you up. And that makes for a really nice feature when it comes to an everyday barbell.
The utility barbell also has a center knurl, which is a feature I'm excited to have since I don't have that in any of the other barbells in my lineup. And I think it pairs well with the fact that the knurling is not very aggressive on this bar. Obviously, if you're cycling a lot of power cleans or shoulder to overhead, and you have an aggressive knurl, you're just going to kind of get road rash right where it hits. And that's not going to be the case with this one, since the knurl is a little bit softer. But at the same time, you're going to get that added friction that you'll want when it comes to back squats, front squats, etc. It is a more moderate grain of knurl, right? So, I'll be interested to see how it holds up when, say it's 100 degrees out in Texas. I'm coming off the assault bike. My grip is burned out. Hands are sweaty, and I need to pick up that barbell and start cycling it. I'll be interested to see, because you don't want something overly passive in that scenario. So, it's probably going to be a part of me needing to keep up a little bit better on, not letting the chalk get caked up in here. So I have the Rogue 2.0 barbell here as well. As I mentioned, brass bushings, everyday utility bar. It spins as advertised. It has a nice gentle spin, not an over rotation. It's very comparable to this Rogue 2.0. You see the spin there. While overall I very much like the quality of the Cerakote on this barbell, especially on the shaft, I did want to show this to you. And that is, there's quite a bit of wear on the outside of the collar from plates rubbing against it. That's quite a bit of wear for just a few weeks of use. We'll take a quick comparison here to the Rogue Bella barbell that also has the black mat on the collars. And after several years of use, you can see there's virtually no wear there versus just a few weeks here. So in summary, what you have in this Bells of Steel utility bar is a high quality everyday bar with a very desirable Cerakote finish. It's ready to take on whatever punishment you can give it with minimal wear. And it's actually priced a bit below the Rogue 2.0 bar, very comparable, which doesn't come with that Cerakote finish. In order to get that, you'd really have to go into their next tier product lineup, which is in the mid 300s currently. So, from the quick and free delivery from Bells of Steel, the quality packing, the overall features and function of the bar, I'm excited to have this in my lineup. And at this price point, I think there is tremendous value to be had with the Bells of Steel utility bar. And so if you're in the market for an all-purpose bar, definitely give this one a strong consideration.